welcome back. So we took a month. Some of us went on vacation, you know what I'm saying? Some of us used this time to handle some business, personal business, or get some much needed rest and relaxation. So how did y'all spend y'all little month or so break?
Month break. Now, I finished my last unit for school.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Come on, Black and educated.
You know, had to handle that. And I've been working, did some events for Young Voices. So, you know, it's been a cool little break.
Well, unfortunately, I was in a recovery mode the last month or so. I was in a serious car accident on Father's Day, nearly lost my life. And so I just been in recovery mode. But also, I got a lot of kids, y'all, and they've been at the house. So I'm thanking God himself that this back to school time is here. It seems like kids are hungry every 2 hours. So, but that's what I've been doing. But it's good to be back with Young Voices Making Choice. Good to see my people, and I'm ready to get this thing rolling. What about you, babe?
Well, I just want to say for your accident, but God.
Hello. Yes. Did you see him?
Before we get into a praise break, I would a request for you guys to go ahead and pray for my father. I've been going back and forth to North Carolina, just kind of making sure the P's and Q's are right with everybody. So just pray for him. He's currently in the ICU, so I just asked for that. Yeah. But other than that, you know, I've been busting my butts. Even though it's been break for y'all, I still been working.
Period, baby.
Right. Busting my butts.
Yeah, let us find
more
out.
than what.
Right.
I'm still broke though.
Rich broke, as Duval would say.
My bills paid.
That's right. That's okay. As long as your bills paid, you good, girl. You can eat.
Right. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Well, as far as me, I just been, I guess, handling a little business. So I went to Jamaica. My artist had a show out there. It is Sumfest, which is a really big, or maybe the biggest reggae festival in Jamaica. And then my best friend's grandmother, she built the school out there in the rural part of Jamaica. So we went back for a week and we gave just women's supplies, school supplies for the kids, and just food.
I know. Go Tyrus.
Thanks. And then we went to New York, had a little fun. Then after that, we went to London to work on a project.
You said I've been traveling. I've been on the plane.
Sorry, can I come with you?
Definitely. We got to all come Young Voices. From London, we went to Paris.
Catching flights, not feeling.
Handled some more stuff out there and then came back. So just been resting up, getting back on track, and ready to get back on the road.
Like,
so.
I got jet lag, boo.
You
Talk to me later.
You went from World War to today, man.
Right.
Good to see you, champ.
And it's funny because you see kind of the British influence in Jamaica, and then when you go to Jamaica, you now see the Jamaican influence on Britain and that culture and the music and just the vibe, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of cool to
have you back,
actually see that in person.
I know,
So it's good to
That's
be back.
bomb.
How about you?
What have I been doing? Listen, I have been off from work, so I'm not subbing. Only kids I've had is my kid and Akila's kids. And shoot, I've been doing background because you know I'm trying to make this acting thing work.
Tell them what happened. Tell them the good news.
What is the good
testimonies up here?
Oh, and I'm going to IDSA.
Okay.
The Identity School for Acting. They started in London.
Shut up.
See,
look, London. It's a connection. Y'all on the same
full
time.
So I'm starting at IDSA in September. We just had like the induction today or whatever. And I'm just looking forward to not working. You know, trying to get the actor money.
That real money.
You still gonna be working.
Yeah,
You just gonna be working differently.
Well, working doing what I want to do.
So
Not a job.
living.
Not a 9 to 5.
Not a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So, well, it's time for us to get into the meat of what's been going on in news and on social media. Yeah, it's so much to chew on. Like, I don't even know where to begin, to be honest with you. Like, keep it real with you.
Donald Trump.
Sure you don't want to do it? Well, let's just get started with what's popping right now.
The nitty gritty.
Let's start with alleged suicide of
It's about as alleged.
Allegedly.
the alleged suicide of convicted pedophile billionaire Jeffrey Epstein. Since his death, there have been numerous conspiracy theories, some even spouted out by President Donald Trump. According to the New York Times, 2 jail workers assigned to monitor Epstein, who was on suicide watch, fell asleep. Now, Epstein's cell went unchecked for approximately 3 hours. The 2 workers falsified documents logging that they had inspected his cell as required, doing a little bit of cover-up, sweep it under the rug. These staff members are now on administrative leave, pending an FBI investigation into Mr. Epstein's death. How y'all feel about that?
Are they getting paid?
Right.
That's what administrative leave means.
Oh yeah.
I heard
They
one of
still
them was a
getting that
substitute guard. Like it wasn't
A
even really his
substitute
shift.
guard.
Like a doppelganger, like
yeah,
a just
like no, like he was basically
He
like
was
the
covering.
other dude. Yeah, like the other dudes
And
like,
then-
I can't make
and
it.
then
So
apparently-
yeah, it's like why are you
yeah.
on this high profile of a
Right.
client on Suicide Watch and you
Yeah.
the sub and now you sleep? Like it's just too
P's
fishy.
and Q's
And the
wasn't
other one
intact.
had back-to-back shifts, like back-to-back
Mhm.
to back
Yeah.
shifts, so they never even got.
They were
It
plotting
gives
on
them
them
an
falling
alibi.
asleep.
Yeah,
Right.
it gives
Right.
them an alibi. Yeah.
So-
in a
It's
way.
not our fault. It's a system.
Here's my thing. I
Typical.
personally believe that this suicide propaganda is exactly what I said, propaganda.
Yeah.
Now I can't prove anything. I'm just trying to figure out this man being such a high profile case and who he has access to and money. He might know some things
he
that they
know,
don't want to
yeah.
really
Right.
get out.
I think he killed himself. He liked to touch
No,
kids,
no.
and he didn't want to go to jail.
You sound
Look,
well, he did touch
Billionaire
kids.
He
jail
touched
different. He
kids.
did. We can't
But
get past
listen,
that. But
You think he's the only man that's out here
got a whole-
touching kids?
touching
He got a whole
kids.
island.
It's
The
a
whole system
it's
is
a whole-
built upon
not
touching
even,
kids.
Not even
So-
the system. Let's not even talk about the system. There is an elite
Slid.
member. If you look at the island right there is no way he was on that island by himself. For one.
Fact.
For two.
Nigga
Now,
on the island.
if he's on that island and he's not by himself, then there are multiple men. You think he's probably just at the bottom of the list of the barrel of pedophiles that we need to grab. They probably had it out for him to
Yeah.
kill him.
Definitely.
Right.
Hollywood and all.
But
So
you
they-
think
He probably
he's
wanted out
the
or
most
something.
high-profile pedophile on that island? He's the owner of the island.
No, boo. Don't. It's people richer than him that they
I'm
homies
not-
with.
I'm not
Let me tell you
saying
something.
that they homies
We
with.
gonna
It's
we gonna
not.
switch it. You guys know who Corey Feldman is, right? Y'all remember him from the Goonies, the child acting, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
He said that back when he was a kid, it's a whole system. That's why he backed Michael Jackson because he said Mike never did anything to me.
Wow.
But these other people,
Did.
this whole system, this is back in the early '80s, mid '80s,
Right.
early '90s, and
See,
he
this
said
is
that
where
he
I
didn't
get
get touched
scared.
on.
So just
Like-
background on what you were saying, just real quick. I don't even know if I'm supposed to say this. Hope I don't get knocked off. But the reason that,
I got your back.
the reason that it's like that is because sodomy, when you do it into a young child, it actually splits their neural system in their brain into two. So it's technically easier to control someone. So it's kind of like if
Right.
a woman is beat or a child is abused, or they may either be very promiscuous sexual or they may hate sex. It's kind of like that. But you get that two split characteristics, and that way these actors are controlled. That's why these actors we see are kind of weird. And,
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
They're
the
kinda
double person.
So
It all
worried
works.
about what
It
other people say.
all works.
No, that makes
Crazy.
that makes
That
sense.
makes a lot of-
That
that
split
makes sense.
Now,
personality.
as a preacher, I hear stuff on a spiritual level, of course, all the time. But to
Right.
hear it in the anatomy level, it's like, whoa.
It's
Yeah.
a real thing.
Because you cannot believe in God, but that's
Right. No, it's not.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Hey Shay to say that it was a setup. Yes, we believe that. She said this reminds me of the football player who supposedly committed suicide.
Right.
No, yeah.
And then Wavy God 614 says it's a whole sex ring on the island, dog.
I believe
feel
it.
you.
I believe it.
I feel
Can
you.
we just
I
go
believe
bomb the
it.
island? Like, I don't understand. Where is the seals at when you
But
need
there's
them?
children on that island.
Okay, get the seals.
Hold on, are there still children on that
I
island?
mean, well, it's out of
Like, is there an academy going on?
Like R. Kelly.
Is there a academy
R.
going
Kelly
on?
probably got a vault out there.
Oh,
Got a little
goodness.
Hey,
P.O.
Robert,
box.
it's pleased to have you, Robert.
Right.
Your usual quarters are still
Not
waiting
an
for you.
academy. She
back.
said, is there an
Should
academy?
should I put it on your tab,
I
Mr.
did.
Kelly?
Right.
Robert,
Okay.
they don't say they say Robert. You're here so early. I thought the tour was supposed to.
Who's the
Stop,
other
y'all.
lady? Okay. So unfortunately, we will probably never know the truth, of course, about the events surrounding Jeffrey Epstein's death. But yet we are all aware that there really is something wrong with our justice system. I mean, I definitely believe that there's a sex ring going on. They're using pedophilia as control.
Oh, yeah.
It's something that's deep embedded in our system for sure. Those paid to protect and serve are honestly some of the worst criminals. So it's ridiculous right now. Across our country, we can look at and see acts that they commit for which they are never held accountable as proof. So right now in Oklahoma City, a family and community are in an uproar because plain clothed police officers in an unmarked vehicle opened fire on a vehicle, shooting 3 children, leaving them physically maimed and disabled for life. 2 of the children suffered brain injuries, and it's extremely sad. Like, this hurts my heart.
Yeah, I mean that's just one atrocity. On top of that, there was
What
another
for what
instance in
reason?
Chicago, Illinois, where the SWAT team actually raided the home, looking for a young lady's boyfriend actually. And what they did was they invaded the room, make sure all the rooms was cleared, and then they went into the room of 12-year-old boy Amir Worship, and they actually shot him in his kneecap. and blew it out, and he's paralyzed for life now. And the officer that did it actually turned off his body cam and put a black tape strip over his badge number so that he couldn't be identified afterwards.
Wow.
And so so he's the city of Chicago is obviously facing numerous lawsuits for raiding the home of the innocent person, especially since the charges against the man who was the supposed drug dealer have been dropped.
Wow.
But not even
Which
just that,
means
it's a 12-year-old child.
Right.
It is a 12-year-old child.
On top of that, and it was after they established that he was
nothing
12-year-old and he was harmless.
So what's not making sense to me is it wasn't just no regular cop on it. This says SWAT
team.
SWAT
So
team.
they have to plan before they even go. Like before they even get in the van to come
They
down.
have to already
You should know who's in the house already.
Exactly.
You've probably been doing
Listen,
surveillance.
let's talk about this though. That's taxpayer dollars.
Right.
So
I want
why
my money?
Exactly.
Like,
so why
My son can't work again?
everybody
I need a
hollering
good
lower
billion.
the taxes, lower the taxes. We need more money. Look at white people. I'm saying rich white people or the elite black people. I'm talking to y'all too. While y'all out here talking about we not spending our money right, look at what we're spending our money on.
This is wild.
And
Look
this
what
is
we're spending our money on. Exactly.
This is wow. I didn't even.
But to have a SWAT
I need my
team
streets paid.
be able to raid
You still on
families, that doesn't even make sense to me.
Somebody
Because
please
usually they
fill the
have to do their
potholes in
research
Compton
before they're
so
raiding.
she can
Right.
let it go.
But this is in Chicago, and honestly, Chicago,
yeah.
the devastations that are going on in Chicago in the streets and within the policing, it's horrible.
But this is not even an isolated event. They're going into multiple homes, raiding multiple
This
families.
isn't just Chicago. This is the country.
Yeah.
No, for sure. But I'm
Chicago,
saying specifically Chicago, because to have a SWAT team be raiding homes that you're not doing your research on before you get there, like.
Especially because they had so much controversy over the last 10, 15
But the
Exactly.
thing is, it's a ploy. They're not doing this for no reason.
Right.
They're doing this so that the people can be more conforming to what they want. They want control. So the motivator for control for the people that's at the bottom is fear. So if you're scared of me, I can control you. That's why they're going, especially the kids. You can see they're targeting children. If you can get their mind right now, when they grow up, you're going to have it.
You're going to have it snatched.
Yeah.
Snatched.
Well, speaking of control and, when it comes to like trying to control our young people, you got to know your laws so that way that doesn't happen to you. If you don't know your laws, then you're going to end up in situations that put you like less favorable in the eyes of justice when you have to go and speak to the judge.
Right. And think about it. Most of us don't know our rights, and they're targeting minority communities that have lack of opportunity, communities that are lacking education. You feel me? So they know that they don't know their rights. So they know that they can go in there and strip them of their rights because they don't even know what rights they have. It's crazy.
Speaking of like police control and like us knowing our rights. This is gonna make you guys chuckle just a little bit. We came across a story about a star athlete who was arrested for having bird poop on his window.
And didn't they say it was cocaine too?
Yeah, they thought it was cocaine.
Bird poop
on the window.
Cocaine.
Like not crack, but coke.
On the window.
Like the powder.
The powder.
I mean, I'm not any kind of expert, but
bird poop don't look like that.
It's like the police would know.
Greenish and
Right.
yellow.
How is that even a thing?
Yeah, so
it's
last
dove
month.
poop.
Oh, go ahead.
No.
You said it's dove poop.
Oh, white.
Not pigeon.
Not pigeon. Oh my god.
That's that good poop.
That's pristine
Poop.
Not pigeon.
Not pristine. Pristine.
That's the top of the line.
Top shelf.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Let me just
Continue.
I immediately thought about my Dove soap and be like, man, it's so pure and white. I'm sorry.
Knock it.
Okay, are we composed?
Yeah, we good.
We're back.
Oh, my bad.
Are we composed?
We're back.
All right. So last month, Shai Werts, GSU starting quarterback, was
There you go,
put
right
over.
there.
Oh, there he goes.
Wow.
Look at him. Even the white people love him.
Another black man.
I'm sorry.
A little boy.
I am not prejudiced, y'all. I love white people. Okay.
That sounds like
Quarterback was put over by cops in Clinton, South Carolina, and targeted for extortion. When police claimed he was speeding, however, their demand for revenue, that's money, y'all, turned into these cops claiming the bird feces on his hood, the hood of his car, was cocaine.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. The officers then used a drug test kit. They are trying to make this legit, y'all.
Right.
We're going to test this, okay? They know it's... Come on, help me out.
They know it's faulty to kidnap and illegally arrest Wirt, so they just use that as a way to, go ahead and detain him. Exactly. So we have a video in reference to that.
Here we go with the bird poop.
Go ahead, step out for me, man. Step out for me.
Can I reach for my seatbelt?
Step out for me. Come on back here to my car. All right, you turned off on me earlier on Chapels Highway, okay? I know that was you.
What?
Okay, you passed me going 78 miles an hour.
I don't think that was me. Sir.
That was you, okay? You're kind of pissing me off right now. So if you don't know where you are, or you're on a back road and you turn off on me on a road, that doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't believe anything you're telling me right now, so you're going to jail. Hey, he threw something out. He had to have. I have no idea.
You're kidding me.
Turn pink, man. All right, man. I don't know what you got going on in your life or whatever, but that's a field test kit. It's distributed to us by the state. I mean, if it turns pink or blue, that means it's positive for cocaine. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, it won't be provided for you through the Public Defender's Office. Do you understand your rights? Mm-hmm. Okay. You wish to speak with me any further? No. No? Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do right now, is I'm going to gather up all that stuff on the front as much as I can. It tested positive for cocaine. I mean, I don't know.
I have no reason to lie about cocaine. Like, I play football, so I don't do cocaine. I don't do.
Well, I'm not sure how.
I don't know.
It really doesn't make any sense as to why that's coming back positive for cocaine. So
exactly. I don't I just told you this bird pooping in front of my car.
The people in your neighborhood, do they deal cocaine? Do cocaine?
My grandma stayed in an apartment complex. I would hope nobody.
That's where you were at before this?
Yes.
Before you drove down the road here.
Right.
And you said you come from Clinton?
Right. Clinton Green Apartments.
Okay.
That's bird poop.
And that's a lot of bird poop, man.
I don't know what to say.
And then you chose not to stop, and you dipped off on me, and you did admit that.
Yeah, right. I turned. I didn't see you. I turned off, but I didn't see you.
Where were you going? You don't know that. You don't know this road.
I do know this. I come to this. Is how I go to school.
Well, then you know this is a main highway. This is Highway 39. This is Chapels Highway.
Can I talk? I was going to the store. Like, I'm not gonna pull over in the dark where nobody around can see. You know what's been going on in the world, and no offense to you, but I just didn't feel comfortable, officer. Like, I wasn't running.
No, okay.
I called a lady on the phone. I told her, can you please tell him I'm not running from the police? Can I just get to where somebody at? And I was gonna pull over.
All right, so
he has a point.
I'm so lost.
He has a point.
That's deep.
Yeah,
so basically,
wow. Black men go through.
So I want to give y'all a brief synopsis. 10 minutes prior, because we had some complications with the audio, and we apologize for that. 10 minutes prior to him getting pulled over, they had been driving on the street for about 10 minutes. Now, during the time he was driving, he was in a not well-lit area. And because he was not in a well-lit area, he called the 911 hotline and told them that I am on this road, it's very dark, and I'm trying to wait till I get to a well-lit area. There's a cop behind me. Now, the cop already agitated when he finally did pull over. Right. He was like, oh, you were trying to duck off from me. And he consistently said, no, I wasn't.
78 miles an hour, trying to, bruh, come on, bruh.
He literally said, though, I didn't feel comfortable going in a non-well-lit area. You
exactly.
know what's been going on in the world.
Exactly.
But my thing is, Okay.
Is it cocaine powder?
Right.
Don't
Would it blow off while he's driving?
Yeah, it would blow off.
How would that stick to the? How would that even stick to the windshield?
Then not even that, but it has been proven multiple times that field tests, when it comes to being pulled over, are not fully substantial. It has baby powder has been tested positive for cocaine. It has
why they still use it then?
Baking soda.
Oh, it's an easy way to just lock you up.
Get him to the
Air
station.
has been tested positive for cocaine.
Air, as in.
Has been tested positive for cocaine. There's been studies where 75% of the trials have been tested positive for cocaine. So
Taste the air.
Are you high?
Okay, guys. As a result of these bogus charges, he was suspended from the football team until the results proved what was believed to have been cocaine was actually verbal.
So they suspended him and they brought him back on the team?
Yeah,
he lost.
Yet.
Actually, he actually wound up missing one of his most influential games for that season.
Wow.
And if you guys listen to the video, the cop comes in and he says, "I don't know what you've been going through," as if he already knew he was who he was.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
I think he knew who he was. They ran the plates. They knew who he was, bro. They knew who he was.
Exactly. And in a small time,
was he in like the middle of nowhere?
Got me one.
And in a small time area like that,
they
it's
know
like,
football.
come on.
Yeah, in a small time area
South
like that,
Carolina.
college is the thing.
Come on.
Black man in the Charger, young black man.
Exactly.
In the Charger.
So
got me one tonight.
Talking about getting one. While looking for a home to purchase his wife, for his wife, Rob Mathis, photo seen right here with his wife, visited an open house where he observed and photographed several Confederate flags and photographed those flags. Now, an application for citizenship as well to the Ku Klux Klan issued to the owner of the property. Now, as you can see right there, that was the picture that he had posted on his Facebook.
Framed in his bedroom.
Right, he was proud.
And guess who the owner of that Ku Klux Klan certificate was? Charles Anderson, a police officer.
A cop.
As listed right there.
I mean, that ain't nothing new.
Right.
But it looked like he.
They've been infiltrated the police.
They are the police.
They are.
The whole police line used to be the slave patrol.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all. We do have some good police.
We ain't talking about this.
I'm talking about as a whole.
the
You
whole.
felt like you stepped on your toes. You
Yeah,
probably
we got
did.
some good. Yeah,
Right.
we got all. Yeah. You know how it is.
But
With the
as a
Klan,
whole.
ain't no.
KKK
The Klan.
uniform.
Yeah. You see what they did with the dude?
I mean, not all
Modern day.
cigarettes cause cancer, but I mean,
If the shoe
I
fits.
kind of think all cigarettes cause cancer.
That ain't true, because my neighbor lived to about 95 and she smoked cigarettes
It
forever.
depends, though. You know.
But
but I'm
depends.
saying they all have the probability to cause cancer. That's why all of them got that warning label on it. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Like the police.
So
Like the police.
need a
Y'all
warning
all
label.
suspect, is what
Right.
she's saying.
So, Rob Mathis, a U.S. Army veteran and also a Freemason, shout out fam, posted pictures on his social media calling out his racist cop, who was at the dissatisfaction of many, was cleared of killing an unarmed black man in 2009.
What? He's on administrative leave
Things
too,
that make
as
you
well.
I bet.
Oh.
Leave for what?
So I want to actually set out
That's his right.
In the KKK.
real quick. I just want to set out a shout out, a kudos, a award of honor, if I could, for Rob Mathis for standing up and speaking out. Hopefully, Michigan will make sure Charles Anderson is fired as soon as possible.
They need to reopen
And
that
they
case
need
for
to
him.
reopen
Right.
that case. So,
Period.
Young Voices Making Choices. We're putting a call out.
Reopen
for-
that case, though.
Look, we're making a call out for Michigan. So y'all need to reopen that case and have some things figured out and have that family reimbursed.
Because was it
Yeah.
Put that out
murder?
there.
And also, Flint still has unclean water, too.
That part.
I know that, Michigan.
Shout out, Jay.
So, police officers aren't the only bullies that society has to deal with on a daily basis. Many unsuspecting parents unfortunately send their children to schools to be verbally abused and physically assaulted. A lawsuit has been filed against Animo Westside Charter Middle School, one of the Green Dot schools, allegedly permanent brain damage and spinal damage and learning disabilities as a result of bullying. Let's take a look at the clip detaining the incident that led to a child's life changing as a result what's been termed negligence on behalf of the school.
Her 12-year-old son with permanent brain damage on the left side, spinal damage, and learning disabilities. She doesn't want her face shown, but her story told.
that child that I dropped off at 7:30 that morning, he is not the same anymore.
It was January of 2018 when Sarah's son got off the bus at Animo Westside Charter Middle School and was immediately attacked and choked by a much bigger 8th grader.
I mean, you see my client cower as he's being choked, and various pressure points are being used.
Ben Mycelis is the attorney representing Sarah and her son. Sarah is suing Animo and Green Dot Public Schools. Mycelis says a teacher or staff member then came by, saw what was going on, but just walked away. Soon, the bully himself tries to help the boy by taking him to a water fountain. Teachers nearby realize what's going on and take the boy into the office. Sarah says no one told her why her son had had a seizure, but when she arrived, she found out no one had called 911.
By the time I get there, I'm thinking paramedics, he's gonna have help. My son is literally laying there still in the middle of the office floor, completely black and blue.
The school district has seen the video. The fact that they can watch that video and not so much offer an apology is really, really, really disgusting.
Sarah wants an apology and can't believe that the bully was never expelled. She's taking legal action to bring about change at the school and make sure there's accountability for what happened to her son.
No one else is going to pretend that he is invisible, okay? He's not invisible.
Isn't this in LA?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Is this Animo? On Imperial?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So let me say this. The mother of the boy, Sota, says she blames the school because there were educators who observed the beating but did not intervene. She's upset, pressing charges against the. She isn't upset with or pressing charges against the student who attacked her son because he was emotionally unstable due to the death of the recent loss of his brother. Let me say this before we get into discussion. As being in the education field, that being like in my neck of the woods, sort of kind of, I would have lost my mind if I would have saw my child on the ground in the video and everybody just going as business as usual.
Right.
I would have been in jail.
See how calm they were in the house?
Like nothing was going on.
But what I do want to commend the mother, because usually we overreact and based off the other child, because the other child is going through some stuff,
right?
And with I just did another podcast this past Sunday with trauma and grief and things happening to kids and young black men. We don't have outlets, so that brings another separate issue. But shame on those teachers.
First of all, they need to be that Asian teacher. She needs to be fired because she's a mandated reporter. You cannot walk by and see a child being beat up and
then not say anything.
That's okay.
And then not to call the parent, not to call 911.
Man,
I
used to give my mom a call.
They
called the parent. They called the mom. They did not even tell her that it was actually a bully situation.
Right.
They just said that your son isn't feeling well or whatever. She thought by the time she got there that her son
was
have
seizing.
paramedic.
And he had a full-blown seizure.
Right.
So then now this goes the case even with LAUSD.
And that's what I was going to bring up. Education within LAUSD, especially in minority communities, are trash.
Where's the nurses?
Trash.
I had a nurse on staff.
I never had a nurse when I was in LAUSD.
I used to work.
I didn't have a specific.
I used to work as a behavioral therapist for kids with autism, and literally kids would bump their heads all the time. There was not one nurse. There used to be nurses. When I grew up, there used to be nurses in every school. There is not one nurse.
No, there's no. I didn't have a nurse. I can't say that I went to school and there was an actual school nurse. But that's not the point. The point is for people that were there and responsible.
Exactly. They could. First of all, that teacher. I'm pretty sure it was more teachers that was not on that film that saw that going on. That bus driver saw that child get snatched up and didn't say anything. I'm a substitute teacher. I see kids all the time getting in fights, and I'm that one teacher like, excuse me, what y'all doing? But teachers are so desensitized to kids getting into fights. They're like, oh, it's another thing.
When it's black males, especially adultification is put in place, and now they're always set up with the stigma. They're not right, but they're not even. The teachers aren't even looking at them as if they're babies.
Let me ask you a question. What grade was the other?
I think they were
eighth. One was an eighth.
Okay, well then let me be quiet.
And on top of that, the kids just was walking by as well. So
yeah, see that
they're kind of desensitized too. So that means that
this new generation is crazy. Now back when
because we circle up and fight. Yeah, so they're not doing that. It's all the time.
Yeah, let's be real. It's 9 times out of 10. If you have a real bully in a school, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be that circle fight. Them people are probably scared of that little boy who's bullying him and don't want to be a part of that.
I give you that. I give you
but
that.
But at the end of the day, my thing is, if you're an educator, your responsibility is to step up when those things happen.
Any
adult in that situation, because at the end of the day, these are kids that you're dealing with. These are kids in middle school.
So, question. Well, I have. I'm gonna put devil advocate. Question: if the little boy was the same size and they caught a head up, we wouldn't. I know educators, we would have broke it up. But like walking by as a student, like when I was coming up, you get your head up, and that's what it's gonna be. But we never let somebody 8 feet tall beat on some small. That's just hood 101. Cause look at this look at the dude. And I'm like, bro, nah, man, you tripping. I was doing this in the 6th, 7th, 8th grade, like 9. I'm not a small dude, but we like you said, it was desensitized to such a way that either I'm afraid of this bully too, or I'm like the Asian lady, and I'm gonna just walk past it because this is every day. So this is not just something that just happens that day.
That's a culture in that school.
Yeah, it's a culture in the school. So.
Literally.
Come on, Green Dot, you gotta do better.
You gotta do better, and come on,
whoever giving you that money,
LAUSD, because they even put out no apology, no nothing. So speaking of bullying, adults have, of course, mastered this art. Currently, we have 2 CNN reporters that are in the spotlight. For one, Chris Cuomo, who was caught on film responding to being racially insulted by Trump, of course. So, unfortunately, his hot-tempered rebuttal was viewed by many as even worse bullying than his offender.
Come on.
So, let's take a look at this video to see if you guys think that Cuomo went too far.
What are you going to do about it?
I'll ruin you. I'll throw you down stairs like a punk.
No, I thought that's who you were.
No, punk is from the right call me Fredo. My name is Chris Cuomo. I'm an anchor on CNN.
You're much
Fredo is from The Godfather. He was that weak brother.
I'm smart, not like everybody says. Like dumb, I'm smart and I want respect.
Isn't that your
And
brother?
they use it as an Italian aspersion. Any of you Italian? Are you Italian? It's a insult to your people.
But don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again.
It's an insult to your people. It's like the N-word for us.
Damn guineas really make me laugh.
You can insult me like that.
I didn't insult
you. You call me Fredo. It's like I call you punk bitch. You like that? You want that to be your nickname?
I didn't call you that.
You called me Fredo. You know my name is Fredo.
Don't tell me you're innocent. Because it insults my intelligence.
I thought your name was.
You did not think my name was Fredo. Don't be a liar. You want to be a man, stand up like a man.
I'm standing up, man.
You want to be a man, I'm here.
Can act like a man. What's the matter with you?
Then f***ing own it. Then own what you said.
Man, hey.
Then own what you said.
Listen, man, I don't have a problem with you, man.
Yeah, you're going to have a f***ing problem.
What? What are you going to do about it?
F***ing ruin your f***ing throw you down these stairs like a fucking
Please do.
Why, so you can fucking sue?
You don't want
So you
to
can fucking sue?
Well, why don't you do it?
Go take a swing. You want to call me Fredo? Take a swing.
I'm not going to swing
Take
at
a
you.
watch your hands. Take a swing. Watch your hands. Take a swing. No, come on, boy. Come on, boy. So you want to call me Call me
Hey, listen, man.
I'm
not doing anything.
I'll wreck your shit. I'll wreck your shit.
Stop.
You didn't.
Is somehow trying to hang on to the fame of his father in order to have some level of relevancy. Steve is right. He didn't even make the cut that his brother-in-law and sister did to be part of the Oval Office and the White House staff. Daddy kept Fredo back home. So who cares what Donald Trump did?
I thought that's who you were.
No, punk-ass bitches from the right call me Fredo. My name is Chris Cuomo. I'm an anchor on CNN.
You're much
Fredo is from The Godfather. He was that weak brother.
Isn't that your
And
brother?
they use it as an Italian aspersion. Any of you Italian? Are you Italian? It's an insult to you.
Okay, I'm kind of confused. I'm kind of confused.
My apologies, right before we start. It was a Trump supporter that he got into it with, not Trump specifically.
Yeah, no, we know he ain't yeah, we know that.
Yeah, Trump.
No, not Trump.
Now, real quick, I just want to say that no word compares to the N-word. You want to know why?
No. Right.
Because he could say the word Fredo and not get beat.
Right. Out. On national
no offense to the Italians.
So here's I was trying to run up. First off, that phrase, the N-word is hundreds, if not thousands, of years in disgrace, right? Godfather came out 1974 and 75, so
40
I didn't.
years of disgrace.
I hate when people compare, like when people say the F word for gay people, when they say.
I respect
and
it.
I understand it's so disrespectful. It is so.
And not mean that.
It is very disrespectful.
So I didn't know that. I didn't know that in the Italian community. Did you know that?
So just don't bring it up. If you get offended from now on, just don't bring up the N word. Don't use it for your support.
My thing is, why people always trying to put their struggles on the back of black people?
Right.
I mean, well, because we got all their policies. We got them their rights.
And also, the N word is derived from kings. It's derived from
It
niggas.
is.
So technically,
That's so funny because
speaking improper on us. So
and we just
make it fun of it.
Teach us.
But
he does have a.
But how you go? How you go? No. My thing is this: how you go from being so mad to somebody else calling you that word to then not saying nothing when somebody called Trump Alfredo. And my thing is this. I have nothing against CNN people because my thing is, at the end of the day, I personally feel that they're after our CNN liberal. They after liberal medias, to be honest with you. And as a videographer, because I am a videographer for Young Voices, I could not find not one video of this being from like Twitter, or Instagram, or Facebook. I had to literally grab the video from a news source, chop it to where I wouldn't use their credit, basically. So somebody had to give him that video.
Right.
Because they wanted to mess with his credibility.
Right.
Yeah. It looked like old dude he was yelling at was the one that was recording it.
But honestly, so he used that money and he probably got paid off for using that money.
And then male ego, you gotta throw in male ego people around.
And the thing is, he wasn't popping off either. He wanted him to keep talking.
He was like,
Because I'm
he was like, oh yeah, I'm getting all
the minute he said he was a CNN anchor, the minute he said he was a CNN anchor,
I wouldn't have said
that.
Perfect. He just would have got dropped.
We about to get this money. We about to get these coins.
So he's not the only CNN, reporter that's on the hot seat right now. Some of them did it to themselves, actually. So let's talk about our boy, CNN personality Don Lemon. He is being sued for sexual harassment by a New Jersey bartender, Dustin Heiss. We got a little picture of Don Lemon and Mr.
I like him.
I like
Mr.
Don
Dustin.
Lemon.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
And that's Dustin Heiss.
Like Igor for talented creator. But look,
why he look
how long ago was this?
Why he look like a live version of Ken?
We could have gone to his Facebook and find a new photo. All right, but anyway.
That's his MySpace photo.
No. No offense towards the victim. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're not
alleged, or is it alleged?
Alleged.
Throw the legend.
Yeah, you got allegedly. So Heiss claims that he saw Don Lemon at a bar in the Hamptons last year and offered to buy him a drink. A lemon drop. So Lemon's declined. Yet Lemon supposedly approached him later. Don Lemon is homosexual, if you didn't know that. All right, approached him later, and he's putting his hand on the front of his own shorts and was vigorously rubbing the other guy's genitalia. And he removed his hand and shoved his index fingers and middle fingers into Heiss's mustache and under his nose. Yeah, so this is alleged. No footage just came out yet. Lemons, of course, denies the allegations, and also here's a video addressing his stance on sexual assault long before these accused allegations.
Well, I have been open about my experience with sexual assault, and I know firsthand that no one ever wants to come forward, even to family, friends, or loved ones, let alone the entire country. My own family didn't know what happened to me. I didn't tell my mother till I was 30 years old. Well, let me tell you, in my life, it hasn't mattered if the person was 17 or 70. The pain and the damage are real, and it never goes away.
So there needs to be cameras in that bar. I need to see some footage. I need to see what was going on. Because my thing is that how can somebody, and I hate to be a victim blamer because that's not my thing, but how can somebody vigorously rub you
of public stature that knows people are
and then it's one thing to rub
and
them
then you just
and you
stand
move
there,
the
right?
other way. You just stand there. That's as a woman, if somebody just vigorously rubs me, I'm gonna move.
Right.
I mean,
I'm not saying
But they also said that like CNN.
Oh, he rubbed himself.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh,
Apparently,
and then-
he rubbed himself and then basically put it under bro's nose.
Let me in his
he could get a
rebuttal.
little
How did he
whip.
get that close to
He
his
get a
face,
little
though?
Well,
right.
Was he working or he was just there? They were at the they were at the Hamptons.
First of
Right,
all,
that's
there's
the
one
question.
key thing in here everybody's missing. This man said he sent Don Lemon a drink that he declined.
Yeah, and then
Wait,
also
you better
the
come on,
thing is,
Sherlock Holmes.
I'm just
Apparently,
saying.
the alleged
look at
victim
these
has
details.
also been having like
details.
Twitter fingers towards CNN. So like,
Could
yeah,
have paired up
so
with Fox
he's already
News.
It took you a year to start having Twitter fingers.
right.
No disrespect. No,
right.
listen. I'm gonna say this
So-
publicly. I'm not saying whenever issues happen, you know, you have the right. But this Don Lemon, man.
I'm just
Y'all in the
putting out
Hamptons.
plot holes in the
Right.
story.
Yeah, that's it.
So he's
That's
already
it.
been having a hit out for them. You
Right.
feel me? So I feel like he could have, no victim blaming, but it's always more than one side to the story.
Can I say something? I think that goes back into Kevin Spacey's allegations where and I'm a huge Kevin Spacey fan, and he literally said, I don't remember what happened. This was the 80s. We were I don't remember. And the alleged victim said that this happened. He was under the age. So you could have easily went in there and lied to this man, said whatever you want to say,
Right.
and boom bop bam, and then now he don't. People have one night stands all the time.
Kevin
And so-
Spacey, he should have just said it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
he
you
was being-
passed the statute of
Yeah,
limitations.
goddamn.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I think
I don't remember.
I think
it.
at the
Right.
time it was a lot of pressure, and then he did use that to he did use that to come out because we knew, but he said it himself.
And at the end of the day, if I find, like I said, with the previous news that we just covered, I find it so weird that CNN, the only news outlet that has been at Trump's head, it's
Right.
just-
It's always getting this
it's getting
constant backlash.
When is the
backlash.
last time you've
Speak
ever
on
heard
it.
about news anchors?
Never.
Like, have you ever?
Right.
Have you?
But how are
613.
they
That's
all
who
in
they are.
the media
So
right
That's
now?
who they are.
What's the
Like,
name?
y'all-
613
Y'all
is
act
real.
like
For sure.
y'all act like these people don't have lives outside of
Work.
news, outside of
Because
work.
Fox don't be going through none of that, but that's
Yeah.
another conversation.
Right.
And okay, so here's the thing. I'm just gonna point out some plot holes in this story. First, with the he sent him a drink. Then the bartender could be jaded. First of all, a man is rubbing his genitalia in front of you. Why are you standing there?
In the Hamptons,
Still.
at that.
Why are you standing there?
Not the
That's
club.
At that point, you will want to remove
upscale.
yourself from the situation. Number 3, how did this man's hands that was on his genitals, and you are witnessing this, come
Right.
anywhere near your face?
And
For
number
you
four,
to
where
have
everybody
all-
at? This is the Hamptons.
You didn't
Freaky
back
little
up.
bar.
You didn't walk
Club? This is the
Where
Hamptons.
are the witnesses?
Hey, it's lights in the Hamptons.
Again,
It's not dark
it's-
nowhere in the
It's
Hamptons.
shaking, not stirred.
It's-
Bomb.
I'm not
Oh my
witnessing.
God.
I'm
Diddy
not
them
victim
be it.
blaming. But I'm just pointing out plot holes.
This ain't
Gatsby,
grits and
West
biscuits.
West Egg.
Yeah, this is
East Egg.
I'm bartender. I
Moral
want
of
my
the
team.
story is, where are the cameras?
Where are the witnesses?
Where are the
Are you the
witnesses?
only person in this bar?
Yeah,
Watch
the
out,
Hamptons.
watch out
We gotta
for
keep
Fox
saying that
News.
this is the
Really
Hamptons,
upset.
y'all.
Yeah. So
Was everyone drunk?
Also,
What? Sorry.
on the political front, have you heard the recent news from the comments for Republican Representative Steve King regarding abortion? Now, I don't really like to speak on this. It's not my thing. Should we show a clip of Steve King?
Yeah, I know.
Steve King
True.
and the abortion.
Sorry.
I know I
Oh, it seems like we're having some.
It wasn't going to move through the Senate anyway, but we still stand on these principles alive. And since then, I started to think, we know the reasons why we don't accept exceptions for the most of us for rape and incest, because it's not the baby's fault. But there's another thing. I started to wonder about this. What if it was okay, and what if we went back through all the family trees and just pulled those people out that were products of rape and incest? Would there be any population of the world left if we did that? Considering all the wars and all the rape and pillage that's taken place and whatever happened in culture after society, I know I can't certify that they're not part of a product of that. And I'd like to think every one of the lives of us are as precious as any other life. And that's our measure. Human life cannot be measured. It is the measure itself against which all things are.
Hey.
So,
Yeah,
I'm
what-
just saying I'm not surprised.
Man, stop talking about abortion.
I'm
That's
not
simple as
surprised.
that.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. He's also very much known to be a white nationalist too. So they both go hand in hand. I mean,
I'm confused though. Like,
well, I mean,
Fire your
he's
speech, right?
obsessed. You have to understand that white nationalists, white superiority, they're obsessed with control.
but he's
So-
basically saying everyone who got like here on the planet,
Is a product of
rape or incest.
That's growing up in that European schooling.
Exactly.
You may be have been a
because the
product.
unk
Yeah,
is
you may have been a product.
the man and
to
the
him,
woman
it's
is
like-
unity.
To him, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, he's looking at the whole spectrum of population growth, population, keeping it steady. That's all they care about. So if abortion rises,
on the face of the earth in America, the planet cannot sustain all this. Y'all seen all the movies?
I'm gonna just say
but
like
it's like white superiority, women's rights,
America
control,
was
and all
founded on rape and genocide.
Right. Exactly.
Are we
criminals that got sent
understand
over
that wasn't 500 years ago? Like, let's just keep saying that.
Okay, so just because it's true doesn't mean it's right. So at
Absolutely
the end of
not.
the day, his way of basically trying to persuade us not to have abortion is by saying that, well, it's happened
fair.
before. Why can't we continue it? So I wish we had like a donkey of
In
the
that
day or the
voice.
dope of the day or
I
something.
can't.
We're
Cause
gonna
we
have
have
one of
the
these.
donkey.
Listen to it. It's happened
The
before.
donkey of the day. We did
Shout out to
donkey,
Charlemagne. Shout out to Charlemagne.
Shout out to Charlemagne.
Yeah.
Okay, so
The
speaking
Republican
of that,
Party.
yeah.
That's what it's coming from. The Republican. Speaking
So
on
speaking of the
the
Republican
party of our president.
yeah, like, let's just go ahead and get
Since
Trump
we're
out of
talking about President Trump, now is the perfect time to
We go.
segue. Everybody, I don't seem like it's your favorite subject.
Hey.
tired of him.
I'm tired.
Nobody's happy with 45.
Jesus Christ.
Goodness.
It's her. Just vote.
Yeah, I heard it.
I'm at that point now. Like, I don't even want to.
Okay, some who desire
money. I'm sorry.
Yes,
I'm
they
sorry.
have.
Let's continue.
Don't continue. Some who desire to see Trump leave office have come up with a unique and eerie method to do so.
They make it.
A group has begun to implement what they call the magic resistance.
Well, potions, baby.
They are a group of witches with Facebook and IG pages entitled Bind Trump.
Bind him.
Bind him. And it's not in the name of Jesus. They're trying to get him out any way possible. Each month they come together to cast spells to limit Trump's power so that he may utterly fail and do no harm. Some cast their spells at home in front of Trump Towers, the White House. Let's look at one of their sessions.
Hey, they bold.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
What we don't want is our faces on camera.
Oh my God, Macchiato!
Yes. Hear me, O spirits, O water. What I hope for is that we collectively have the capacity with our bodies, with our spirits, with our minds to overcome what it is we've been given.
So mote it be!
So mote it be!
So mote it be! Very nasty. You're very nasty. Your intentions are nasty.
My intentions are not nasty. What's nasty is ripping mothers out of the arms of their children because they don't have paper.
It really has no place in American politics, in American culture, and certainly not in democracy. And the idea of trying to override through magical means the will of the President of the United States, I think is very sick.
There's nothing wrong with calling out to the universe a request that humans do no harm. That just seems like what we should all be doing every night at midnight.
Wow.
I got a few things I want to say as the preacher of the group. So,
As the preacher of the group.
where was all these spells when
he was being elect?
Yeah, when he was running for campaign.
Right.
And then she said the first thing that comes out of my mouth, we're casting these spells now based off the immigration issue and
She was a Trump supporter.
Where was all this?
She was.
When Trayvon, all these dudes that got killed and gunned down, where was this?
Where was y'all at for
He
Zimmerman?
said they thought he was kidding.
Now, let
thought it was a joke.
Let the lady from Princess and the Frog come down there. SWAT to be outside, Secret Service with
Let
a
me
them
tell
up.
you, they were at the Trump rallies wearing their Make America Great Again hats. And as soon as the taxes went up for the middle class,
Right.
they was
They
like,
said, oh, no.
They calling
we
them
can't take
Baal,
none of
Babylon,
this.
Babylon.
We can't take none of this.
They
Okay?
really outside.
They calling on all the spirits. They chanting and doing a little boy.
They called all the spirits. They said we need all the help we can get. Okay?
But this is not a shade towards any other Wiccans, because we do know that there are black
You
Wiccans.
know you from North Carolina. She said the Wiccans. You know us in the West. So
She
we
knows
just
the
say,
proper
we just be
name.
Like, we like crazy folks. The Salem witch trials names.
It's offensive.
Hey,
right now.
whatever.
But this him.
Yo, this just made me realize, y'all, we are really in the 1600s.
This is
Yeah,
wild.
we're back.
Lynching.
Right. So, you know, all of that, let me get it back and reel it in real quick, okay? So, it's time on a lighter note to go and check out what's been really popping on the entertainment front. Okay, so first up, we got our little hot girl, Miley Cyrus.
Real hot girl stuff.
We ain't heard her in a minute.
Right, we haven't heard about
Since
her.
she was wrecking balls.
Okay. She is a new divorcee.
Who is she married?
For 8 months, fam.
Can we technically say that's divorce?
But who even knew? Right? Who even knew she was married for the last 7 months?
I ain't gonna cap.
Yeah, so she's been married to conservative Australian actor Liam Hemsworth.
That's fine.
So,
So
Ain't that Chris Hemsworth's brother?
He's
Yeah.
beautiful.
that's
That's
Hunger
Thor's
Games.
brother.
Hunger Games.
Hunger
Yeah.
Games.
So here's a little video clip of the both of them right now.
What does a dance number look like between the two of you?
Like this.
What?
We're out.
Oh, you're not for the twerk?
She was too wild for him. And
Yeah,
he was
he
like,
said
yeah.
Crikey, mate. He was like, crikey, mate. This is not what I want. This is not what I want.
Okay.
She was too
So
wild for
I know
him.
you guys are eager to discuss Miley and Liam. We must have to see what our hot girl was doing right before the divorce was
Just a
final.
couple of hours, bro. Just a couple of hours.
We have to see.
Let's see how girl Miley.
We see the pendulum swing in a different way.
She living out her hot girl summer for real.
The plot thickens.
Hey, she on that 06 Nicki Minaj.
What? You over here is chewing out some gems and nobody.
No, I tell you, man.
Y'all need to listen, okay?
Video.
All right.
Video clip is coming.
No, it's a photo that's
It's a
actually
photo.
coming.
Well,
But Miley was just seen a couple of hours later, literally cuddled up,
lip locking
with Caitlyn.
With the hat on.
With Caitlyn Carter.
Panama Jack.
With Caitlyn Carter.
Who was Caitlyn Carter?
Caitlyn Carter used to.
So-and-so husband. I mean,
one of the
ex-wife.
Jenner boys.
No, not one of the Jenner boys. No.
They got Jenner
He used to. Caitlyn. No, Caitlyn Carter used to date Brody.
The Jenner. One of the Jenner boys.
Brody.
Oh.
Brody Jenner.
From the
I'm
hills.
from Boston,
from
y'all.
the hills.
I thought it was Kylie and Miley.
Well, technically, though, I also read that she's like really having a hard time letting go of their relationship, so she doesn't want to finalize the divorce.
We can't tell.
They're separated.
She having a hot girl summer.
Right, they're like deeply separated because
They're
apparently
deeply separated.
Apparently, she can't really handle his like moods that he goes in, and he's not like the light surfer boy that he comes off to be to the internet.
The odds weren't in her favor.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
she's a little bit too hot girl. She's on too much of her hot girl.
No,
right
I just
now,
think
so.
it is Miley is just too hot for him. Y'all seen that clip? Like he was all like, nah, not in public.
And-
Yeah,
But he
yeah.
really did that, like, on national TV.
At the red carpet, how you curve your girl?
Right.
That's your girl. Your wife.
How you curve your wife
Right.
on national
Now, I
television?
wonder if
She
she-
wasn't
Yeah, no,
having
that's
it,
another
but she's having a hard time letting go. So,
But
We'll
can it
see.
technically be called a divorce if you were only married for 8 months?
Yeah, that's
Yes,
the
it
end
is
of your
divorce. It is a
probation.
divorce after 6 months.
It's the end of your probation.
Now,
Your
to
probation
change the
period.
subject on what else is popping right now. Now, everybody been talking about how A$AP Rocky and his arrest in Sweden. Well, let's hear about his testimony during his trial.
Asked these guys like calmly. We said, look, man, we don't want to fight y'all. We don't even want problems. We don't want to go to jail. We don't want to fight y'all. Please stop following us. I really wanted to detain him, man. You know, maybe hopefully cops will show up. Maybe hopefully he'll back down. I just wanted him to calm down.
First of all, shout out to the artist. It looked like anime.
I know.
To be honest.
Now,
because we were more interested in the art.
I feel bad, but
look, he was found guilty. He served his time, and he's on Swedish probation upon his release. Now, let's have a look at how ASAP celebrated after all of these black people came to his rescue.
Cool.
That's clear. I ain't even tripping about him throwing up the middle finger.
Look at who he's with. He's
Yes.
in there with a bunch of white women.
They Swedish.
He got baby.
Nope. Those is all these he all partying.
And so black people
Is he in America in this photo? Because
and then Trump
brought him back.
Trump didn't bring him back. First of all, Trump did not do nothing. Absolutely nothing. He just tweeted and supported. The most that Trump can do is add a tariff on Swedish fish.
That's what he said. He said he had brought him back. That's what he had said.
You know Trump is gonna take
false claiming.
He's gonna false news.
All the credit on Twitter.
Fake news. Exactly.
He's false claiming. He served his time.
Fake news.
All right.
So now we all know ASAP wasn't down for his people before his arrest in Sweden.
I don't know.
Y'all remember what he said during the beginning stages of the Black Lives Matter movement?
Chugga.
Literally, specifically in reference to the support of what happened in Ferguson, this is what he said. Why would I feel compelled to rap about Ferguson? I'm not about to say that I was there throwing rocks at MFers, getting pepper sprayed. I'd be lying. Is it because I'm black? What the F.I. am I L Sharpton now? I'm ASAP Rocky. I did not sign up to be no political activist. I want to talk about my MF and lean and my best friend dying, my girls, my jiggy fashion and my inspiration in drugs. I live in effing Soho, Beverly Hills. I can't relate.
You gotta do better, my
He
boy.
said, I go back to Harlem. It's not even the same. It's a sad story. I gotta tell you the truth. I'm in the studio. I'm in fashion houses. I'm in these bees drawers.
Wow.
I'm not doing anything outside of that. That's my life. These people need to leave me the F alone. Now, that is ASAP Rocky and Time Out Magazine 2015.
Keep that same energy over there.
Keep that same energy, bro. Like, he has been keeping the same energy. You saw who he left with.
He can't come to the hood.
But he's back. He ain't as sweet to him.
Man, look.
He's enjoying.
As Michael Jackson used to say, that's very ignorant. That's
very ignorant. That's all I can say.
He's enjoying Becky and
Susan
Rebecca,
and Karen.
Come on, Ty.
You gotta understand, with that, you just got to say some things and keep them to yourself because there's young black men out there looking at you as a role model. But now let's just get into sports. Let's see what's popping in sports.
Yeah, finally.
Well, let's see. I don't know if this is a shout out or either cancel. So mogul and entrepreneur and musical powerhouse Jay-Z mixed with the National Football League and the commissioner of that league, Roger Goodell. Photo of Jay-Z and Roger Goodell recently sealed a deal giving Rock Nation significant power in choosing the performers and league signature events, i.e. the Super Bowl halftime show. Most importantly, Jay-Z and Rock Nation will help develop content for the NFL's social injustice initiatives and spaces for players to speak about issues that concern them.
Okay, so
what do y'all think?
As the number one watch program in all of the world for the last, I can't even count the years. I think that was a good business move to get good publicity, to get more black entertainers, to not to make it all just allocated to white or Caucasian media. But I'm looking on the backside. That might be a way for him to get in and start figuring some things out. But at that same point, we're going to hold you to a very high standard, Mr. Sean Carter. I love you. I support you. I'm with all of what you represent as fact, mogul media, business, and all that. But now that you in there, if Dr. King can meet with Lyndon B. Johnson and you can meet with Roger Goodell, we want to see some stuff shift, not just in music or the halftime show. What does this look like?
Because he is supposed to be in charge of.
He's in charge of the halftime show and for social activism.
Exactly.
And the media.
And the media.
Right.
So he's gonna create ads.
Right, but I also think it goes deeper. I think that there has been backlash, but I also feel like because he's a businessman, he's looking at it from perspective. How can he reach the most social climate? You know, you can only do that from the inside working out. You could march, you do rallies and do this and do that, but you see Jay the way that he's moving right now. He's literally trying to basically own the entertainment industry. Right
exactly.
Now. So
he's a monopoly.
Right. So within that, as black people, you know, we can either capitalize off of something that is capitalizing off of us, or are we going to just continue to let something just capitalize off?
But see, ratings went down
You feel
anyways
me?
the last couple of years.
Right.
Period.
Nobody that was of color really wanted to perform for the Super Bowl halftime.
Including Jay-Z.
Right.
We didn't even
Nobody.
watch
Jay-Z
Jay-Z
actually, Jay-Z had Rihanna say no.
Exactly.
And I just want to say this real quick because a lot of reporters, especially, this actually discerned me so much because I look up to this woman, Jemele Hill. And I just feel like, she came at Jay-Z off the rip like, oh, yeah, he's the reason why Colin Kaepernick isn't working at the NFL anymore.
Not true.
No, racism
and
is
that's
the
not
reason why.
That's not true. And he actually moved very smartly because he never sat down before signing this deal and ever even had a physical conversation with Colin Kaepernick. You never see Jay publicly speak about the situation of Colin Kaepernick. So at the end of the day, you don't know what his plans are for Colin Kaepernick.
You don't even know if he's going to end up getting an administrative role within the NFL and getting hired that way.
But he's
getting paid more. Getting paid more and not hurting himself on that field. Because don't nobody want to play football forever and hurt themselves.
And I think as black people, we're looking at him as if he's just trying, as if he's
want to be a football player.
Right, or trying to, now he's being the puppet within a bigger synopsis instead of seeing that somebody of our color has to be in a big spotlight for us to even get a little change. Because at the end of the day, us talking, it's only going to go so far.
I'll be a consultant for some money. Yeah,
Well, see,
y'all
my
need to
whole
get this
thing
together.
with black people is we want to see change, but the change is not done. The reason that Martin Luther King used to protest was to incite and act to get publicity.
Right.
We don't need to do that anymore now that we have social media.
Right.
And things like that.
Right.
So
So now, what are we doing?
We have
And how
to
are
lobby. And
So now we
do
just
that
protesting
lobby
for what?
And how are we using our status and how are we using our brand to promote our culture instead of degrade it? You feel me?
And Jay-Z played the long game by turning them down last year and then coming back and coming full circle as a partner instead of an entertainment and an employee. He came back as a
that was
partner.
smart. That was
So
smart.
I respect it.
And
And we're looking forward to see what's going on.
I am
with that.
looking. Well, I hope that he uses his platform to better black people, and and all this puppet stuff. We just gonna have to see. I don't think Jay-Z. I just think Jay-Z is smarter than that. I think he's gonna, like you said, capitalize.
All right, and now as we talk about, black justice and black capitalism and black empowerment, we just want to, last but not least, go ahead and give a happy birthday, happy born day to the one, the only Nipsey Hussle.
Hey, man,
The greatest.
Now, as we say,
the great.
as Ty as Akila was about to say, that's it for all of us now.
Well, yeah, that's it for today, y'all. Look, we're glad to be black. Elated you tuned in. Hope you tune in at the same time, same place next week. And tell your friends to watch us on Instagram, on YouTube, and at Young Voices Making Choices. We love y'all. We see y'all next week.
And on YouTube. Watch our tribute. Woo woo.
Rest in peace, Nip.
Happy birthday.
Watch our tribute.
But you know, your actions and your mentality are success. Tupac of my generation, young black nigga trapped and he can't change it. Know he a genius, he just can't claim it. Cause they left him no platforms to explain it. He frustrated, so he get faded. But deep down inside, he know you can't fade him. And I've had that thought myself, and I'm sure these young people coming up trying to put two and two together deal with that, so that was just an honest reflection on my mentality before I was embraced by music and, got recognized and started to make money off of my art.
If you really think about the metaphor of the marathon, when you look at it as like life, it's about endurance, it's about preparing, it's about mentally breaking through your barriers that tell you I can't keep going, where you're more capable than you think you are.